39.
If you start an e-bike club,
I don't have Insta-Snap, man.
What?
How am I gonna start shit?
this is your opportunity to start.
I ain't gonna do it to do some e-bike.
Did you say Insta Snap? You're not that old.
It's a step through, so it's nothing for you to step on and off this bike. Very stable, not very shaky. I'm gonna try to go without my hands on the handlebar here.
What's up, y'all? So we received what might be the best, I would say, full size, full suspension step through e-bike as of 2026. I say that because it has a 3,000 watt peak motor advertised to go 40 miles an hour. It also has a 48 volt 25 amp hour battery advertised to go 110 miles of charge. Usually a 25 amp hour battery is not going to take you to 100 miles of charge. Usually it's more like 60, maybe even 50, but we're going to test out the range. We're going to test out the speed. Me and my brother and a fellow e-bike connoisseur, Tiptoe, who wants to start an e-bike club here in our local area. We want somebody else to create the club. He just wants to participate.
This is gonna put me on blast.
So this bike is a Hikeep 26F. Again, it's a step-through e-bike, so it should accommodate different heights of riders. This bike weighs 99 pounds. Maximum weight of the rider is 550 pounds. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, go through all of the features, test out the speed, test out the range, again, test out the suspension, because it does have full suspension. And see, is this the best full-size step-through e-bike that we received this year. Also, I am still doing the e-bike giveaway. You want to be included in the giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to live in the US, and you have to comment below what type of e-bike you like. You want like a full-size, full suspension bike like this? Want more of a moped-style e-bike? Want a portable bike? Comment below what type of bike you want. When I get to 40,000 subscribers, I'm sending one of y'all the e-bike. Last month, I gained like 400 something subscribers, so keep subscribing, share with your friends, let people know when I get to 40,000. Send one of y'all an e-bike. Oh, it's Tayo's birthday. In the comment below, say happy birthday to Tayo. 410.
410.
After 10. This is what the bike looks like. Fresh out the box. I think it was wrapped really well. It was a whole lot of foam and stuff around it. So I highly doubt that anything is damaged. And this bike did come with a box, so let's see what's in the box. So it looks like we got this unique headlight. We have a heavy duty bike pump. Man, we hardly ever get bike pumps that nice. This is our charger. Charge our 25 amp hour battery. Nice combination style lock. We got a bag of tools with some Allen wrenches and other wrenches that I can actually use. Pretty standard phone holder. And we have a user manual, so let's look into that. Loving the instructions so far. It seems pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of the description though, but I guess the pictures are self-explanatory. This is what the bike looks like without the wrapping on it. It doesn't look like anything was damaged. Not surprised though, it did come with a lot of foam again. So look like we have to put our handlebar on, which is already connected via wires. The rear rack is already installed, and the kickstand is already installed. We also are going to have to install our front wheel, and this front wheel has a 26x4 all-terrain Chaoyang tire on it. I really like Chaoyang tires, mainly because they usually are very grippy. Usually have a lot of grip to them. Look like these have a lot of grip to them too. Durability is hit or miss with the Chaoyang tires, but I love the grip. So we also got to put our front fender on and our unique headlight on. The first thing we're going to do is put our front wheel on. We use this front axle to put the front wheel on, and I like that they already include the screws on there, so you kind of get an idea of what order they go in. So this was not very clear in the instructions, and we have the bike upside down, which opened up our suspension. Our suspension was really, really tight, but we turned it upside down. I don't know if that did something to the air, and now our suspension is open. It was very, very It was very tight, almost stuck before. So we take this here, which looks like a rubber washer, I guess, and we put that here right outside of our wheel there, like that. And then when we do that, we're going to take this other washer and put it inside of that rubber part like that, and then that's what's going to go on the side of our wheel. So when we're done, it looks like that, and this is our wheel here. And then we just take this nut and then screw it in place like that, and that's how we put it together on both sides of the wheel. So we got the bike put together, took us about 40 minutes. Now this is pretty large for a full-size e-bike. It's about 6 feet 5 inches from wheel to wheel. The seat at its lowest point from the floor is about 2 feet 8 inches. This is as high as the seat pole goes. The handlebar, which is not adjustable unfortunately, is about 3 feet 10 inches from the floor. Loving the look of this e-bike. I love the reinforcement they have here for a step through. You see this? And I've noticed in more of these full-size e-bike making the seat pole a part of the body. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but all in all, I think it's a decent design for a full-size e-bike. But let me know what y'all think. Look at that suspension. And I've had that suspension on a lot of other e-bikes. Usually the performance is based on where the suspension is located in the body of the bike, you know what I mean? So it's usually hit or miss. Give y'all a look at this rear suspension. We also have this motorcycle front fork suspension where you can adjust compression. And I've learned to really appreciate this feature. It really does help when it comes to off-road riding or riding on grass. So if you want to lock this out, you turn it this way. If you want to open it up, then you turn it that way. And we're going to go ahead and open it up here. Give y'all a look at this front suspension. We have a detachable rear rack. Rear rack like that can usually handle like 50 to 60 pounds. The seat, pretty standard. Not too firm, but I guess we'll see. I wish it was a little bit bigger. Nice wide handlebar, pretty standard for a full-size e-bike. It's about 2 feet 4 inches long. It looks like we have your hard rubbery handlebar grips. We have a plastic chain wheel cover. I usually like the aluminum ones a little bit better. I think they're a little bit more durable. Have a look at our front and rear 203 millimeter Logan hydraulic brakes. On the other side of the bike, you can take your key. There's a key there that you can put in here. And there's a lever here that you can move after you put the key in, and you can take the battery out. So this battery is removable, and I think it's pretty standard too. So we're not going to go ahead and turn our display on. We're going to press and hold the power button. And it tries to turn on, but by default, you have to use this NFC card to turn your bike on. So this is an anti-theft bike. Now over here on my panel, if I click this button, that turns my pretty bright and so far unique to Hikeep headlight on and my rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. Like we have a horn, which is not that loud, honestly. On the right of our handlebar, we have your standard Shimano 7-gear shifter. I want to make sure we're on mode 1 because over here on the right of our handlebar, we have a full twist throttle for throttle only. And I'm not a huge fan of full twist throttle just because when you're pedaling, you know, your hand might do that while you're pedaling, and so I would hate for you to do that and then you go faster than you want to while you're pedaling. So look at some basic information on our display, and I think this display is pretty standard. You want standard parts with these bikes because if the company goes kaput, you can still order parts, you know what I mean? Up here look like we have our battery life, or we were still charging the battery. Over here we have our trip mileage, and I think that resets every time you turn the bike off and on. Here we have our pedal assist modes. I'm gonna click the plus button over here. See how many modes we got. Look like we have Just three pedal assist modes. Over here is our odometer. Again, we did take the bike for a small bike ride. If I quickly click the power button, I get more information on my display. Looks like it gives me my average miles per hour, my maximum miles per hour. This bike does have advanced settings. You do have to enter a password to get into some of them, but to get into your general advanced settings, just press and hold the plus and the minus button. P01 is how do you want to calculate our speed? Do we want to do miles per hour or kilometers? And I'm pressing plus and minus to change my value. To keep your value, go to the next setting. You quickly click the power button. And if you want these settings, just comment below and I'll send you a link that I'll create that'll give you these advanced settings. P02 is how bright do we want our display. So we're going to make it 3, which is the brightest. P04 is our limit speed. So here's where we have to put a password. I'm not going to let y'all know what the password is. If you want to know what the password is, comment below and I'll send it to you. But in order to enter your password, let's say you want to put a 2 there. To go to your next position here, you got to click the power button twice, not super fast. 1, 2. Like that, and then you can put your next number in. Once you're in the speed limit setting, look like it's 25 kilometers per hour by default. We're going to go ahead and change that to, let's change it to 66, which I think is like 40 miles an hour since that's how fast the bike says it can go. P07 is if you want to engage our cruise control. P10 is, I guess, how many minutes until your bike automatically turns off. Yeah, that's 10 minutes. So we're going to say, I'm going to change that to 20 minutes just because I'm doing a review. I did not see the ability to change your pedal assist sensitivity, which is a bummer, or your takeoff speed. So
how tall are you?
6'1",
How much you weigh?
230.
What you think of the suspension?
I think it has pretty good suspension. It doesn't feel shaky, it feels smooth, and
You think it's overall the bike ride is smooth?
yeah, it's pretty
No
smooth.
shakiness? So we're not gonna test out these Chow Yang tires. Let's go through some gravel here. And it rained yesterday, so it may be slicker than most, but I'm not feeling no slipping here. Maybe just a little bit, but that's usually the case with Chow Yang tires. They tend to have a nice amount of grip on them. Let's go ahead and brake here. Yeah, a little slipping, but nothing too crazy. So definitely think these tires are grippy enough to lean into your turns, because they are grippier than most. And I do hear a noise every time I make a right turn. Y'all comment below what we might have done wrong there. I'm assuming that's the brakes, but yeah, I feel comfortable leaning on this bike because of the grip of the tires, but also because of the width of the handlebar. The combination of those two things make me feel comfortable leaning, but you lean at your own comfort. Because if you do fall, you know, there's a long way down because this is a pretty big bike. So we're now going to go off-road with some hills. Test out the tires, but mainly test out the suspension. And, oh, all right. I mean, so far so good. A little shaky, but let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Not that bad. Okay. Not the best suspension I've had for a full-size bike, but it's pretty good. I feel like the back suspension is doing more than the front suspension, but they're both working together. They're doing pretty good. They're doing a good job of absorbing a lot of the bumps and cracks I'm getting here. But yeah, this is pretty good. Let's turn. Yeah, not that bumpy. And I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, but it's okay. All right. Yeah, the back suspension is definitely taking up the majority of everything. The front suspension ain't bad though. Yeah, front suspension isn't bad. So let's go down here. Yeah, not bad. All right. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I give that suspension, I give it like an 8. Fresh out the box, the pedal assist on this bike is pretty perfect, even though it's a cadence speed sensor. But that's only because in mode 3, which is the highest mode, you can only go a maximum of like, what's this? You can only go a maximum of like 16 miles per hour. The company said they did that on purpose. I don't know if e-bike companies are dealing with litigation or what, but definitely makes it perfect for the trail. You don't have to worry about pedaling and getting in trouble. 16 miles per hour is good for the trail. But what if you're in the street and you want to pedal? You know what I mean? You want to go faster than that. So I'm not a big fan of them locking it out like that, but there is probably a way to unlock it. I'll ask them and I'll let y'all know at the end of the video. But 16 miles per hour max speed pedal assist. Pedal assist is pretty perfect, even though this is a speed cadence sensor, but probably perfect because I can only go so fast. Let's test out the brakes here. Brakes are pretty good though. I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. I think this bike is perfect for a guy my height. Perfect dimension. I feel like I'm in between a commuter style posture and an aggressive style posture. So it's perfect for a guy my height, honestly. I wouldn't change a thing. But if you're shorter than me, I think it'll also be good for you because it's a step through. So it's nothing for you to step on and off this bike. Now, I also think this bike is pretty comfortable, and that's including the seat. I do wish the seat was bigger, but the cushion on the seat is pretty comfortable, but very stable, not very shaky. I'm gonna try to go without my hands on the handlebar here. Yeah, I do have to balance it a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty stable though. Not bad, so good on the comfort. So you can't go super fast in pedal assist, but I guess you could engage the throttle and pedal if you want to go fast and pedal at the same time. Maybe gauge it where you still feel like you can get a workout in and then you can still go fast while pedaling. But you know, nobody wants to do all that, but I guess it is what it is. So we're not gonna go max speed. See how fast we can go here. Okay, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39. Wow. All right. It looked like there was a hard stop at 39.6. But that's pretty much 40 miles per hour. While I'm in the street, I'm not encouraging you to take an e-bike in the street, but I think if you were to do so, this is the perfect bike for the streets because it has some size to it. So the wind will not sway you right or left. Usually when you're on a bike like this, cars respect you because they assume it's like a moped, you know what I mean? It's a big bike. And because you do have all the bells and whistles you would need for the street, a headlight, a rear light, a horn, even though the horn ain't that loud, but you know, the size of the bike, right? The only issue I have with the street and this bike, the pedal assist. You know, I think if you pedal, you want to go fast enough to keep up with traffic if you're in the street. 15 miles an hour while pedaling ain't gonna cut it, but the throttle obviously goes over 40. Now, I'm hit or miss on whether I would use this bike in more of an urban area because of the size and because it has this motorcycle style front fork. But although it has this front fork, you can still hit some pretty sharp turns. Yes. Kind of sharp turns, I guess. But yeah, I'm hit or miss on whether I use a bike this big in an urban area. But the good thing is if you're pedaling with this bike, you ain't got to worry about any jerky activity. So we're going to go max speed, throttle only. We're going to see how much speed we lose going up this hill. Looks like we're going into the hill. So it looks like we're going to the hill at 30 miles per hour. 31. So let's see how much speed we lose going up this hill. We're at 31, going into the steepest part of the hill now. 28, 27, 25, 24. 23, 22, 21, 20. All right. So we lost like 11 miles per hour. We normally lose like 9 or 10. So
Hikeep 26 step through full size e-bike. I think this is a decent e-bike for the price. I love all the features, headlight, rear light, a horn. I love that it's anti-theft. The suspension on the back definitely does more work than the suspension on the front, but they work together pretty well. The battery life was also decent. I went on a 18-mile bike ride. Now I did spend like 4 of those miles in max speed throttle only because I can only go 15 miles per hour in pedal assist. I spent another 5 miles using the throttle but also pedaling at the same time, so I don't know what you call that. And then the rest of the time I was in a max speed pedal assist. In that 18 miles, I only lost 1 out of 5 battery bars, but the next day I used the bike again. By the time I got to 20 miles, I lost that second bar. So I would say the battery life is like 50 to 60 miles to charge. I think the biggest drawback is they limited how fast you can go on pedal assist to like 16 to 17 miles per hour. I don't know why they did it. Maybe it's because I have noticed more litigation going on with these e-bikes, so they want to make sure if you are pedaling on the trail, you can only go to a maximum of like 20 miles per hour. So maybe they're trying to, you know, make sure that every state can use this e-bike. I don't know, but I don't like it. So, all in all, I think this is a decent bike for the price. On a scale from 1 to 10, I give this bike an 8. Comment below on what you get this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.